Gigi Hadid and Kanye West, also known as Ye, are in a bit of a tiff. They've been arguing. In fact, she called West a bully and a joke after the rapper and fashion designer, who now again calls himself Ye, insulted Vogue editor Gabriella Karefa-Johnson in a series of social media posts. So it all started when Karefa-Johnson posted on Instagram this after going to Kanye West's fashion show in France, where he was wearing the White Lives Matter shirt. "I'm fuming," she wrote on her Instagram stories, alongside a video of a black model wearing the shirt on the runway. "Indefensible behavior." Now, for those of you who might have missed the original story we did on this, here is a photo of Candace Owens and Kanye West wearing the White Lives Matter shirts. And I'm very curious what you think about this, Jordan.
I can't what?
You didn't know about this?
Vaguely. He needs help.
No, I know.
He desperately needs help, but I think he just does things to get attention at this point.
Yep.
Because it's the Elon Musk strategy. After a few days, if you're not in the news cycle, he'll just do, I invented a car that could survive hurricanes. Like, it's just anything he can do to stay in the spotlight. That's just how his mind works, which is really worrying. But he's talked about mental health, and I wanted to separate, that doesn't justify everything he does. It explains some of it, but he really needs people in his world that will just tell him no.
Yes.
And he doesn't seem to have that.
No, he doesn't. He's surrounded by people who enable the worst instincts that he has. I personally don't understand wanting to be in the spotlight ever. Like, it's terrible. And to intentionally do things that are inflammatory or offensive for attention, it blows my mind. But apparently after this Vogue editor had posted that, things kind of, I don't know, unraveled. So he was trying to illustrate a dystopian world in the future when whiteness might become extinct, or at least would be in enough danger to demand defense, she wrote in messages to a friend, screenshotted and shared to Instagram. But the danger is that the very premise, the idea that white supremacy is in danger of extinction, is what justifies mass incarceration, murder en masse, indeed, even the advent of slavery. Okay, now she called the shirt deeply offensive, violent, and dangerous. So thin-skinned Ye did not like that. Okay, so he kind of responded to that criticism and started his own bullying campaign. In one since deleted post, which featured a photo of what appears to be the stylist out and about, Ye wrote, "Can we just call him Kanye? I can't with the Ye, it's really strange." But anyway, this is what he writes. "This is not a fashion person. You speak on Ye, I'ma speak on you, ask Trevor Noah," okay? He then posted a close-up of her boots and brought in Vogue's Anna Wintour, writing, "I know Anna hates these boots." And then that's when Gigi Hadid got involved, the model. And she says, "You wish you had a percentage of her intellect. You have no idea if there's actually a point to any of your stuff. She might be the only person that could save you. As if the honor of being invited to your show should keep someone from giving their opinion. You're a bully and a joke." I like that statement. I think that's a good statement. I think it's accurate.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I regret ever being a Kanye fan when I was younger.
I was too, but I loved his first album. Everything kind of fell apart at some point. But he wasn't always like this.
No,
right?
that's the thing.
Yeah.
You think back to Late Registration.
I know.
It was just night and day from where he is now. He had the pastel colored polos.
Yes.
About Jesus.
Oh my God.
What happened to that?
I totally forgot about the pastel polos.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that there is something going on with mental health. I'm not an expert. I don't mean to diagnose him in any way, but it's kind of obvious. But at the same time, I've noticed after his mom passed away, that was when things got really bad.
Yeah, I think that the grief, that loss, absolutely would just do damage on anyone who had that close or a significant relationship with their parent, as he says he did. And again, we're not saying this explains everything, or we're blaming it, or even stigmatizing it. It's just that this is something that nobody in his world is encouraging him and supporting him in the process of treating.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And it speaks to people who are really just in his social circle to get ahead. It's people who are probably just using him for access, for parties, for whatever. And Candace Owens being there isn't really surprising because that is somebody who is just purely opportunistic. So unfortunately for him, he has surrounded himself with people who are only looking out for themselves and won't tell him no because that jeopardizes their access to him in his world.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. It really is, right? Like the opportunism in every field of work, like in every area of American culture is pretty disgusting. And people get hurt as a result of that. Later, he tried to make it seem like, oh no, I met with this Vogue editor, everything's great now. He posted a picture of her on his Instagram page and said that they're all good. I don't know how true that is. I don't really care, to be honest. I just think, everything you said is true. I think that's the right empathetic way of approaching stories involving Kanye West. Now, Candace Owens, that's a different story, right? Candace Owens is the definition of an opportunist.
Oh yeah.
And I remember when Kanye had just a brief moment of clarity about her and they had like a bit of a falling out. I don't know what happened after that. But she loves any opportunity to be in the spotlight, and this is yet another example of that. Like imagine being a Black woman who dealt with severe racism in high school as a result of being a Black, student, then turning around to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt. It's insane, but it's the world we live in, I guess.
Yeah.